I think this is going to be the most epic music reaction I have ever done. It is Ride of the Valkyries, it's Wagner, and he had a very interesting relationship with this song. Oh, I love the French horns in this. Of course, I've heard it before. I've got goose pimples on my head already. Ooh. I love how it kind of comes down. I know it's already massively epic, and I tell you, it gets more epic. You will have heard this song. If you started this video being like, I don't know what this is, I bet you're like, oh, that song. So this is Ride of the Valkyries. It is a song by Wagner, who is a German composer, and they are warrior women who get to choose what fallen soldiers get to go to heaven, Valhalla. This song is at the start of Act 3 of an opera called The Valkyries, and that opera is part of 4 other operas, The Ring Cycle. Here's what's kind of funny about this. We'll talk about it. Here's the Valkyries. Looking at her mother shape. What I first want you to notice is that they are standing behind the orchestra. They are so noisy. Now, if you haven't noticed, Wagner's music is pretty dramatic, and this gives unique technique problems. Wagner preferred heavier voices that have that big, natural, powerful tone. You definitely heard it with those 2 women. He also has these amazing, long, legato lines, and you heard that it just goes on for ages. Your breath support has to be on point. Your ability to project has to be on point, and that's all about relaxation and understanding how to shape everything. And you really saw that with that last lady when we got a nice close-up. She was really shaping her vocal tract, her mouth, her tongue, her soft palate. Everything was shaped in the best way to boost that sound and make it massive. There's also not really any show-stopping arias in Wagner. It's all about these long lines, so you've not got your Queen of the Night style aria. It less focuses on fast agility, and last of all, Sprechgesang. Wagner really valued the interplay between the text and the vocals. He wanted acting through song, so this term is about making it mean something. Okay, I'm gonna go back, and I want you to look at what's happening with her jaw. There. It's so open and it's wobbling. Why is that? Now, any big opera singer will know that trying to wobble that jaw purposefully only adds tension, and she definitely does not have tension. You can see how relaxed it is, how easily she drops that jaw. Vibrato is driven between the balance between airflow and your vocal cords, and when you're putting loads of airflow through them, it wobbles. First of all, we need to realize that everything is connected. Our jaw is connected to our tongue is connected to the bone above our larynx. So our jaw can wobble in response to the movement that is happening at vocal cord level. And also, if it is really relaxed, it could be just vibrating at the sound vibrations. The feelings that she's feeling in her mouth is causing that wobble. I feel like I'm taking off. The strings are so intricate and the woodwind as well. So much joy from a cymbal. How cool is it to be the cymbal player? Everyone else is doing all these fluttery like doo-doo-doo, but the satisfying moment. So this is a speechy thing. I've actually never listened to the whole sung section of this. You'll be shocked and horrified at me. What's also really difficult about this is it's in German, and German has a very specific strength of consonants. Consonants by their very nature get in the way of airflow, so a lot of the key to keep that really precise diction that you hear here and that Wagner really wanted is to make them short and sharp. But opera, you need that big open space to project. In fact, I think you're probably looking at a lady right now with a big open mouth. See? You can see how their whole bodies are engaged. I want to go back and see how all their bodies are super engaged. This is to do with their breath support. The word support is so important. It is not pushing lots of air out. It is controlling that airflow. And sometimes people get a little bit of help from these muscles outside of the rib cage. Often when we breathe, we think of the front of our body because that's what we see and we're aware of. But there's a lot of movement in the back. And actually, if you look at a slice of your lungs from the top, because our heart is at the front, more of our lung tissue is at the back. So you can feel that by putting your hands around the back of your ribs, like you're doing a little Beyonce dance move, and then breathing into those hands. And hopefully you'll feel those back ribs move out like that. Yeah, watch this lady in green. There's that under support there. You're seeing the different mouth shapes for different people. Some of them have that really relaxed jaw, some a little bit less, and it really is what works best for your body. You're going to have a different shaped vocal tract. There's going to be a different shaped tube between your lips and your larynx for you than someone else, so you might have to shape it differently than the person literally next to you. Now, Wagner and this song. When the song was originally written, Wagner did not want it played individually. He only wanted it as part of the Ring cycle. For operas, that's really long, but people loved it. And they kept on messaging him and messaging him. In fact, he said to his second wife, Cosmina, that unsavory letters had been turning up, asking him to perform by itself Ride of the Valkyries. Wagner completed the Ring Cycle in 1856, but it wasn't until 1876 that he lifted this embargo, but only if he could conduct it himself. And he did. And then everyone loved it so much, he did it again as an encore. Look at those mouths. Well, that must be some of the most powerful singing I have ever reacted to.